Rubber Ducky here. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Axis campaign in iBomber Defense. If you're new to the channel, then take a moment and click the subscribe button. Check out the previous battles in the iBomber Defense Axis campaign playlist. We'll be returning to Northeast Europe to deal with an Allied counterattack. This was set up pretty well in the previous battle, so it shouldn't be too challenging. But things are going to start getting tougher as we move on from here. So that's going to be the new avenue of attack for the Allies. Now we actually have two real approaches, and this one is closer. So we sold that gun, and we're going to get, I guess, yeah, we can put this on 3. We're going to get that X weapon up, and like I said, because they're closer, they're going to have way less time to react to those quick vehicles. So we get a second X weapon here. It'll take a little while before we can build up money to upgrade it, but we do have 3 level 3 cannons, a level 3 X weapon, a level 1 X weapon, and then we have that machine gun that we don't actually really care about. When using the X weapon, you do want to make sure you've got 3 level 3 turrets at least in its inner radius. Gives it the biggest bonus damage. So do not just place the X weapons out there and not have them supported with other things. If you don't have the money for cannons, 3 level 3 machine guns are better than nothing. The X weapon also has a minimum range, so the inner radius there is the shortest distance that it can fire, so you can't have it right up on the front lines. They just melt though. Alright, we'll keep this turret in repair. And we'll get ready for another level 3 cannon right here. Get a couple of kills and we'll have it. One more. There we go. So we would like to put another X weapon on this little island to the east, but we do want to make sure we have 3 level 3 turrets to take advantage of the damage the X weapon can do. Now, when they come from the fork to the north, it's not really a big deal. They're far enough away, and they combine so close that it kind of doesn't matter. But we're going to swap that out real quick. No more machine gun. And we could have put that cannon on the east island, but we still don't have enough for the X weapon anyway, and it's not really a huge deal, but get rid of the machine gun because it is a little bit of a softer target, takes damage easier, and it wasn't really, contributing to the defense. Those tanks actually do take a fair amount of damage. They're pretty robust. The X weapons still kind of melt through them, but you can definitely see them shrug off the level 3 cannons until they get hit by that X weapon round. Alright, the East Island is staged and ready for the next one. If we can get enough money, we can throw down an X weapon here, and it'll cover that east approach as well as have overlapping fire when the enemy gets in between the 2 islands. So if we go like right here, we'll get that overlapping fire, but it gives us the best opportunity to hit them right as they're kind of coming out of the spawn on the east. Kind of really any closer, and we run into minimum range issues. I'd like to see heavy armor on that like western approach, heavy armor on the eastern counterattack approach, and then maybe like a bunch of fast infantry or jeeps or something coming from the northeast. That would be an interesting challenge, especially as we're geared up with so many cannons. The X weapons will still melt fast stuff, but if there's enough of them, they can totally bleed past before you can blow them all up. So that could have been an interesting take on how to make this challenging. We are still early in the Axis campaign, so it's not meant to be like insanely challenging, but it could be harder. The biggest thing is setting it up in the previous battle. Now, if you don't know which battle is going to go into a counterattack, then that's a little harder to do. But if you've got a decent setup in all of your missions, it won't really matter. But having good turrets and good placements makes all the difference for your counterattack. Especially as the Germans, where you're not going to get that extra money coming in from comms turrets. So without the interest, like, you kind of need every turret to count. And let's put a third X weapon over here. We don't need it, but we'll put it. Even the splash damage is pretty impressive. Like, the heavy tanks don't take nearly as much, but like you can see on these guys just how far it reaches. See, a hefty string of those could cause some problems. I think that was a missed opportunity to make it challenging. There should almost be like a challenge mode where everything's a little bit harder enemies, more enemies, faster enemies, whatever. Those tanks just like shrug off the level 3 cannons. That lone level 2 cannon over on the west side, like, he's not going to see any action. So that's something too, right? Like, he hasn't been used. We totally could have sold that early. We could have sold that now even and taken the extra money. We don't really have anything to build, and that was it. We did have a perfect round with a bonus score of 179,048. We're also going to have 3 victory points. So we'll do 1 here in the AA turrets, and then we'll do 2 levels in buy, and that'll get us a little bit more money. We're going to be very well prepared for our next fight in Northeast Africa, but until then, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.